when you were like growing up, was there any like trendy things that you thought was super cool, or some things that you thought everybody else thought was cool, but it just wasn't cool at all to you? Like Pokemon cards. Was you big into Pokemon cards?
I've never liked Pokemon.
See, I was about Pokemon.
I've always
Digimon?
I played no, not even remotely Digimon.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yu-Gi-Oh heavily.
So why was it Yu-Gi-Oh, not Pokemon?
Could never get into it. I don't know what it was. To be honest with you, I tried to. Like the games I played, I had Pokemon Stadium.
Like the Game Boy games?
No, like the Nintendo 64 game,
Oh,
the
okay.
Pokemon Stadium, the little gold cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
I had that, and I played the hell out of that. But when it came to like the cards, because I tried to get into it 1 or 2 times, and the show was on every day. It's the only thing on in the morning when you get up for school.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd see it every day, and then this low key was just never really about it. I don't know. I guess after seeing South Park, it's kind of like, well, they kind of nailed it on the head, where it's the same shit. They just kind of rebrand it every year, try to make it sell like something else. When in reality, nothing's at all different.
So what was your thing that you were really into that was trendy like that?
Trendy?
Not necessarily trendy, just like the Pokemon. Yeah, it was a craze, and then like now it's not really that big of a craze. There's still a market for it. 100%.
The only thing was fucking Yu-Gi-Oh, because I remember the first $200 I ever made or that I ever saved up, I spent 100% on Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Because I was like, oh, this is cool. This
What
is
did
cool
you buy?
to do.
Like decks, like the
100%.
booster packs that for like $10 or
100%. Nah, bro, I'd ball out on Yu-Gi-Oh cards, like because it was a big thing. Everybody was showing off their cards, and I was like, oh, okay. I gotta keep buying it so I can get fucking the legendary one, so I can be
clout.
cool. And then low key, I remember like playing the game. I used to play the game, but no one ever played it though. That's what messed me
100%.
up. Because I remember you get like one or two. Like Justin was the only person to ever actually like we would duel. That was it. And there was like maybe 1 or 2 other guys. Like maybe at one point in my entire life.
What'd you think of Magic?
I slept on it for a while. I would say like 3-4 years ago. I still have Magic cards. Like I have Magic Days in my room. Because I remember getting into it and I said, bro, because I tried to get into the new Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was just super whack. I hated
100%.
it.
Same way with the Pokemon.
And I remember because I was like, yo, because the general rule is if you got better cards, you just have better cards.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. And then they're like, no, bro, Magic doesn't work like that. I was like, how does it not work like that? I was like, it's a card game. Every time I've tried to get into a card game, it works just like that. Like, bro, just trust me. So I played against someone who was way more seasoned, and I won. Like out of 3 games, I won 1. I lost 2.
You beat Brittany, didn't you? Is that the season
I don't
player you're
remember.
talking about? Because I remember you didn't even have Magic cards, so I started talking to you about them. You even know about Magic, bro. I told you about Magic.
Well, it was Nathan and Vernon that got me into Magic. We used to go to the garage and we'd set it up, and they're like, bro, just trust me, you'll get into it. Because we were just super bored. We were like, well, let's just try something. Like me and you do. It's like, let's just try it. Vernon was super into it and had really good cards. But low key, I think I started with like a red and white deck. And I was like, all right. I kept trying to mess with it. It was kind of cool here and there, but it's just something you stick with. And
100%. Yeah.
I was just like, yo, I'm just about World of Warcraft.
See, I guess the thing that kills all fucking card games with me is I don't appreciate like buying. I mean, obviously there's no way to stop the market 100%. Like it's just, but I feel like it ruins it when you go to like a bookstore or a comic store and you buy a certain card. It's like fucking Yu-Gi-Oh days. Like if you go and just personally buy 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons, opposed to opening a pack and finding them. I feel like that's the way to do it. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's what I was going
I feel like
after.
that's authentic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
the luck
you
of
get
the draw.
High. You
exactly.
get that natural high, 100%.
But anybody can go to a fucking bookstore and spend like $500 and have a decent deck. You know what I'm saying? Like hand pick cards. I feel like that's just stupid. To me, it's more fun if everybody's got the same playing ground. We go into the store, we buy 2 booster packs apiece, we open them, like, oh, fuck, man. Then that's the trading aspect comes in. Like, oh, shit, let me get this, you get that. Not like, oh, hey, I'm going to go buy the best cards I could possibly buy and then go from there. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, that's the only thing that bummed me out. That's like I remember this dude at fucking that comic store in Evansville. I don't know the name of it. But I went with my uncle because I got my uncle into Magic. I got you somewhat back into it. My uncle, his husband, LB, everybody started playing Magic, right? So, all right, cool. And we went to the comic store. And low-key, I know why he was hating on me because I was shitting on his business 100%. My uncle was like, I'm just going to like this card, this card, and this card, and they had it all in a showcase. I'm like, that's for bitches. Like nobody just fucking. And the dude's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I just feel like it's lame as fuck to come in here and buy this card for like $10 just to have it. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I just would rather buy a booster pack or just anything and then find it through the chance. He's like, yeah, but you're just not a serious card player then. I was like, why has it got to be like that? You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, I just think it's stupid. It's like certain people who play video games, and instead of like grinding it out, they spend like $400. Like, fuck it, I got the same shit you got. I'm like, I'd be lame. You know what I'm saying? So I don't support anything that somebody could just use money to bypass.
Well, yeah, I've never understood the point of wanting to spend money to hurry up and wait.
100%.
Because that's what the game's about. It's like it's why my whole view changed. Like when I was heavy into Warcraft, it was all about guild. Everything was about like, okay, yeah, I'm decked out, but if my whole team is still struggling on something, I got to work with them. I like D&D. It's what I loved about that. Like we played that twice. Yeah, we played it about twice, and the thing that
Are you talking about us? Yeah, 100%.
The thing that we got into it about was you can actually. It's a real choose your own adventure with your own character that you can make. I remember we were fucking with that hard. I'm like, all right, cool. And then we were the other ones like, I'm gonna shoot an arrow in every single direction and miss my party. You know what I mean? That's the kind of shit I like to mess with because that's open world. I like a true open world but it's hard to attain that while also be able to hold that build your own character aspect without fucking somebody over. Because inevitably, you're gonna have someone who's super powerful who just played it way longer.
Yeah. See, that's the thing that got me with Dungeons and Dragons. Is like everybody was always like, everybody has a stigma about me where they're like, oh, he doesn't like this, he's done like. If you're somebody, if I like you, you bring something to me that you're passionate about, and I can see that you're passionate about, not something that's trendy that you just got into last week that I got to pay $20 to get into too. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm like, yo, all right, you care about this, I care about it. Just to see. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna get into it or I'm not gonna get into it, but I'm gonna give it an honest chance. It's like trying to see it through your eyes, like how cool it is. World of Warcraft. I could easily been like, nah, that shit's nerd shit. You know what I'm saying? Because the stigma with Warcraft. It's the fat dude that's like got fucking stains on his shirt. Just like, oh, hey, man.
South Park.
Exactly.
100%. Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, no, fuck that. I'm not gonna be a part of that. But I was like, I'm gonna check it out. Why not? And I ended up loving it. And I fucking but the problem is, like, so we played, and like two out of like the 6 people we had, what was the story caller? What was his name? Like his legit name in the fucking gatekeeper, the dude from Dungeons and Dragons that reads the story.
Oh, you talking about just Game Master?
Game Master. We had a really good Game Master, but it seemed like everybody else. It seemed like one player we had. It was like they were just over it because they played it so much that and they didn't take it serious because we wasn't their group. You know what I'm saying? And then other people were just like, they were just there to be there. And me and you were like, you said, we were like legit, like, all right, dude, how do you want to do this? Because I remember some people were like, I'm going to run off and fucking throw my axe. And I'm like, well, all right. So I was like, now that that's over, like, we would literally wait for everybody else to get done doing their stupid shit. We're like, all right, Alex wants to spin around, shoot arrows everywhere. Meanwhile, I'll hang back behind him and protect him from any damage coming in. And then the game master would be like, God damn it, like, these guys are actually, like, I'm going to have to concentrate on making this a challenge because these motherfuckers are, like, seriously thinking about it. I'm all about, like, if I'm going to do something, do it full or don't do it at all. And that was the key that I had, like, the thing that I could never get was, like, so I went to this local comic book store one time. They were playing Pathfinder. I just went with somebody. And I was just going to sit on the couch and just read comics. I was like, yo, fuck it, I ain't going to pay for these. I'm just sitting there and read them, the ones I thought cool. There wasn't that many cool ones. I'm not a big comic guy. So they were like, yo, hey, you got to play if you're going to be here. And I was like, dude, I don't want to play with you fucking bunch of nerds. That's what I was thinking about. I was that Mac in a room full of fucking nerds that you could tell, like, one dude collected pins.
Is that nerd shit? Oh no,
100%.
Man, I don't
like
do nerd shit.
It was just it's a group. Nothing wrong with it. Like there's some, like one dude collected pins. You could tell it was like a room full of what's a vagina. You know what I'm saying? But there's nothing wrong with it. Like, you know, there's no shame in that. Some people that's just not what life's about to them. Cool. But I was the total opposite of that. You know, and I looked like the jock. I came in there. I was like, what's up, fucking nerds, and shit like that. But I wasn't bullying or anything. I was just like, I was trying to see what it was about. I was like, yo, you ever seen 21 Jump Street?
Sounds familiar, but I cannot recall
What's
a
that,
single
Channing
scene from
Tatum
it.
and Jonah Hill? Well, there's a part in it where he goes into this like classroom after class. And he's like, what y'all doing here? Y'all doing drugs? And they're playing like this little fucking card game. And he's just like, what's this about? And he ends up liking it. That was me. I was like, fuck y'all doing in here? No, it's stupid. And then low key. So they egged me on. Like, no, dude, you got to play. I said, bro, I don't want to play this. So then I started playing. Dude, we were there for like 7 hours. And we didn't get one thing done in the story. I was like, this is why I didn't want to fucking do this. You know what I'm saying? Because why are we doing here? Like, I would rather just be like, yo, let's all meet up here and talk. Not like, oh, hey, let's fucking... Because they had the table with the fake grass, the creatures, and all that shit. Yeah. Like, bet, bro, this is going to be tight. Yeah. And we literally sat there for like 4 or 5 hours talking. Occasionally, somebody would be like, all right, we got to get this going. We'll roll the dice. I want to do this. Well, you can't do that. Because there was like 14 people. And it would be like a whole discussion about what's allowed.
So you're just more mission-oriented. Versus them, this is like their one thing that they got.
Yeah, it seems like they were just antisocial. So this was social hour to them. So they were more worried about being social than playing the actual game. I was just like, man, this is lame. Because I wanted to play the fucking game. Like, you've made me play. I've invested myself to get a character and all this. Like, I want to play now.
And then you just got to sit there for 5 hours listening to them talk about it?
About shit that I was just way out of my league. It was either in-depth conversations about superheroes, which I don't know anything about. Like, why does Spider-Man wear this and do this? Because in issue 14, about that shit. Or it was scientific shit that was way above me. I was just a dumb monkey that was like looking around. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm a paladin and I'm trying to fuck shit up right now.
Yeah,
or kill my vibe. All right, I get you.
So that's what bummed me out. So it wasn't so much as like I couldn't communicate with these people because of what they were into or their interests, but as much as like, you guys are just not even taking this serious. That's what I'm saying, dude. I hate when somebody's like, oh, I would tell you about this, but you just would make fun of it. You would do this. You would do this. I'm like, y'all, hands up. Absolutely. I'm going to give you shit about something. But if you're about it, anime. I hated fucking Dragon Ball Z. Fucking loathed it. LB was super about it. He explained to me the whole story of Dragon Ball out on his porch one night. I was like, bro, this is not the way to sell this to me. He ended up doing it. I was like, fuck it, dude. All right. And he summed it up. He's like, basically, Saiyans are Terminators, and they're coming to fuck shit up. And I was like, all right, bro. But me, anytime I get invested in any story, I want to know from the beginning. He's like, do you don't want to watch Dragon Ball because it's boring and you're going to not like it? I'm like, but I'm going to know the origins of stories. I don't mind build up, you know what I'm saying? So it's like fucking, I could watch Anakin become Vader. Because I know at some point he is going to be Vader. He's going to be a badass. But leading up to that point, which low-key Anakin's story is a bad example because he was pretty cool. I didn't like him as a kid. I thought that was boring. But
no one did.
Yeah. So if I can, yeah. So it bums me out. And people are like, oh, no, you can't bring that to him because he's just going to judge you. Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm going to give you shit about it. Same way with Dragon Ball. But then you came over one day. I was just sitting there by myself, just watching Dragon Ball. Because you came in and you're like, what are you doing? Watching Dragon Ball Z, and you're like, why? I'm like, I don't know. So I'm proud of you. And you went from talking to you sat down and watched it. I was like, what are you saying, man? And you're like, fuck what I was saying. Watch this. And I was like, all right. So we just watched like 2 or 3 episodes, and we went and got some food. And I was just like, yeah, just throw me like what you want me to look up, and I'll look it up, you know.
How many times do you think you pass somebody on the street, you're like, there's never a chance I'm going to talk to this guy? And then low-key, he's like, he would dress like a total thug. And then he walks in, he's like, bro, have you seen the new Black Butler season?
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about like that? I thought you were talking about...
No, just like image. Like how many times...
Low-key, I talk to anybody. You know that. I talk to literally anybody.
Right. But just...
The shock of like thinking they were into something that it wasn't.
You ever get a good friend through that?
Not really. I've had interesting conversations. I was sitting on a bus one time with this kid that would always sit alone on the bus. I was sitting by Chris at the time on the bus. I was like, oh, fuck this, bro. I'm going to go talk to him. See what this kid's about because he never talks. I'm going to see what's up with him. I was like, bro, what's up? And he was super standoffish because he figured I came over here to make fun of him. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, so what's your story, man? Like, what are you doing? And he was just like, I was like, all right then. So, what's your name? All right, then. It was like one of those conversations.
Yeah, right.
So I was all right, bro. Well, I'm John. Nice to fucking meet you, bro. Blah, blah. So what are you into? And I noticed he had like some type of anime like wristband. I was like, dude, I don't know what the fuck that is, but I'm assuming it's anime. Which like my deliverance was, oh, he's gonna make fun of me for anime because of the way I delivered it. I don't know what the fuck that is, kid, but I'm assuming it's anime. Sounds like some nerd shit. I don't do nerd things. So we ended up talking because it was like a fucking 15, 20-minute bus ride. I'm like, motherfucker, you're talking to me, bro. I'm Joey Diaz. I'm gonna fucking just talk and talk and talk and talk to you. But like, I'm gonna talk to shut the fuck up. Fuck, should shut this dude up. So he ends up telling me about like how Naruto, or the fuck it's called, was a huge anime that he liked because his mom fucking was shitty to him and taught him strength or some shit. And I was like, word. I just listened to this kid talk. And like the kid just disappeared. He just didn't ride the bus anymore after like a week. And fucking, I was like, all right. I didn't see him in school.
He told
or
the
anything.
secret. It disappeared.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know what it was.
Ninja jutsu.
Yeah. But fucking yeah, dude, he just dipped. But yeah, no, that was the time because I thought he was just gonna be some weird kid. And low-key had depth to him, like a motherfucker. It wasn't just like, oh, I like anime because other people like anime that I hang around. It was like, yo, dude. So I tied this into this. And the character from this show did this, which reflected back on me and made me outlook like this. And I was like, word. I like fucking ODB.
You ever heard of Reunited? You ever heard of Marvin Gaye? Well, I got someone a little bit better.
Yeah. ODB is the truth.
Is there a comedian that's surprised that you... Are you into comedians like that?
100%.
Comedians you fuck, other than Joey, pretty much just Joey Diaz, Ari Shaffir, that whole group, or what?
No, I'll fuck with like my top comedians. Like what, top 3?
Mm.
Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle, Louis C.K.
Oh, see, I didn't expect that, Louis.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about him.
Louis C.K.?
Yeah.
Very my sense of humor.
Yeah.
We'll watch one of his stand-ups when we're done. You're like, 100%.
All right.
That was the first comedian besides Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor reminds me a lot of my dad. He's got my dad's sense of humor. He's just black. You know what I'm saying? But Richard Pryor was super ballsy with what he did at the time. You know what I'm saying? Same like Dave Chappelle. Making fun of Bush like he did. George Bush trying to get a dog. You know what I'm saying? So fucking... But Louis C.K., that was the first comedian I watched. There was only a handful of jokes up to that point. Like Richard Pryor had this real good joke that got me into him where he's just like, you ever fucking took a bitch to her house and her house is so fucking nice that you could fuck the couch? I was like, all right. He's like, yeah. She'd be like, oh, I ain't giving you no pussy. He's like, I don't care, girl. It's a nice ass fucking couch. I'm about to fuck this couch. We ain't have couches like this. I was like, yo, dude. Because that's what I do. I go to people's houses and everybody's like, dude, check out this watch. Check out my bins. I'm like, bro, this is a nice ass fucking room right here. This is a nice paint. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not used to that type of shit.
Yeah.
You're used to roaches and shit. Like if somebody comes in, you're like, yo, this is hardwood. The fuck is this? You know? So it's like, I was like, yeah, I get down with that. Because there's been many a times I went to a girlfriend's house. I'm like, yo, let's go to your house. So I'll never get to see yours. Yeah. So it's because you're trying to do that mysterious thing? I'm like, yeah, that's it. No, low key, bitch, I live in the fucking hood. Yeah. So fucking, I live in poverty, motherfucker. Yeah.
I got into storytelling comedians I know because I really didn't listen to any of them. The only ones I ever seen was on Netflix that you go by. Mm-hmm. Your Jeff Dunhams, your Gabriel Iglesias.
You like those? You like them?
Jeff Dunham's all right. I'm not a huge fan, but I like Gabriel Iglesias.
I don't fuck with the puppet dude. I don't fuck with the fluffy dude.
I fuck with the fluffy dude. And then it was through that I saw a dude named Bert Kreischer. And through Bert Kreischer, I found Joe Rogan. And through Joe Rogan, I found Ari Shaffir and Joey Diaz. And ever since I heard Joey Diaz talk, I was like, all right.
See, I appreciate... I'm not in that circle. I don't like them all. There's only a handful of people. I like Joe Rogan. Because Joe Rogan reminds me a lot of me. Because I'm very like, what the fuck are you doing over there, bro? Fucking dope. He's always the first to be like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bro. That's way out of my league. I'm a fucking stupid monkey when it comes to that shit. You're like a fucking space. Right? Just like low key, it's fucking something that's super simple, but he just doesn't know anything about it. So fucking that. Out of that circle, it's just Joey Diaz and Joe Rogan. Those are the only two I really fuck with. Because what's the dude's name? Ari?
Talking about the skinny Jewish guy?
Yeah. Did you see his original stand? What he was doing for humor back in the early days of YouTube?
Talking about the Amazing Racist.
The Amazing Racist. That's what
how I knew about him. Yeah.
I just thought he was just a random guy, like a comedian, and then he turned out to be a stand-up dude. And I was just like, wow. I've seen the stand-up. It's not good. See, the fluffy dude. I don't like any comedian whose main purpose is one subject matter. It's like if Dave Chappelle's jokes or Richard Pryor's jokes were just about them being black. Not at all. You know what I'm saying? It's such a wide range of what they can make funny. I like any comedian. Same way with music. I like any artist that could take something that's dark or wouldn't normally be funny and turn it around. So you're like, it's still dark as fuck. And you're like, yeah, it's funny. You know, you find humor in it. With the Ralphie Mays, with RIP, and the Fluffies. And
I've been getting heavy into him out of nowhere, by the way.
Ralphie Mays?
May,
I can't honestly say that Ralphie May, I haven't seen enough of his stand-up to judge him. Like the Fluffy dude. His whole premise is, I'm fat.
Ralphie lived in the hood, but he was super southern. So hearing him talk, and he was really outspoken, because he was that guy who would call people out on their shit immediately. Like, because he's like all your racial slurs. He would say, and he's like, I want to take the power away from it because I grew up in the hood. I know exactly what it's like. I know exactly what it's like to be made fun of. I know exactly what it's like that people throw words at you. But if you use them, you try to turn it into a beautiful thing and take the power away from it. Because if you react in a negative way with a negative person, they're just going to keep doing it. Yeah. They're all the time. So that was my first impression of him. And I started watching his stand-up because the first show he ever did, he bombed hard. He won a competition. He was super funny. One of the best comedians of all time, hands down. But he got my respect just it was more because it was always more about more than comedy to him because he helped a lot of people out. Like he's a dime bag of comedy. Just to sum it up to you, he was the dime bag because his first show he went into the competition, bombed hard enough, and the dude told him, I don't remember the other comedian, is a big time comedian though. He's like, yo, because he botched a joke, botched it, and couldn't get his momentum back, so he was just bombing hard. So the guy told him, well, if that happens, just start screaming and cussing at the crowd and just treat them like shit, and they'll love you again. So Ralphie's like, all right, because he got kicked out of high school. So he's uneducated, everything against him. He starts cussing at the crowd. He's already pent up, like, blah, blah, blah. He ends up crying because they start throwing shit at him, and he bombs hard. And the guy told him, you're never going to be a comedian. Like, you're trash. And then later on, he becomes super rich off of it. But he was always about helping other people, which, like what we were talking about earlier, it bums me out that there can be a dude who's super successful. If in 5 years, as musicians, we figure it out, and there's other musicians below us, because there's always someone who's either, I don't go by better or worse, I go by just someone who's got a really unique ear that creates music. Like if Tool was never a thing, and we came out, and Maynard's like, yo, would you help me out a little bit? Like a studio, whether it's just having them come in, borrow some instruments, you know what I'm saying? Just putting people on that that you believe
to further their talents.
Hey, you believe in their talent. Like it bums me out that happens way less than it should. You've got so many people in these fields making about $100 million a year, and then fucking not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why comedy or why music or why this declines within the next 10 years. And it's like, yeah, because you said fuck off to everybody else.
For sure. I think it just comes around to fucking people. When, I don't know, there's a lot of factors I guess it could be. It's like you don't want, like comedians, for sure. I can see why they're like, yeah, I don't want nobody else to do as good. Because there's only so many spots. Music is a little different because it's such a wide range of shit. But yeah, for sure, you can't like post up and give that gateway to somebody and fucking expect well, you can't have those resources and not use them. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're not gonna be in the studio 24/7. I don't think we should just give the keys to anybody that wants to record. But if they play us something or they have a tape or something. But see that goes into it, like we say that now. But like, what if we get 90 tapes a day? We're goddamn. You know what I'm saying? So like, what do? Each day you're getting 90 more. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's one of those things for sure.
You can always set up like, yo, competition.
Yeah,
internet,
100%.
top 5 people.
But But then you got like you were saying, like some people don't have instruments and stuff like that. So it's like it's a weird situation that you could talk about now. The main thing I would want to do is talk and hang out with people. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be like Lars. Like he's like, when he hangs, like I've seen that dude, like some chick could be at the show, like, dude, my husband loves you. He loves Metallica, blah, blah. He'd like, call him up. And he'd just sit and talk to this dude for like 10 15 minutes. Is it 2 hours? No, but it's like, hey, how you doing, man? How's life? But you know what I'm saying? Like it's a legit conversation. And he's like, this dude doesn't want to talk to me. And she's like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm watching fucking football, bitch. Stop having Lars call me. You know, he's like, that's what he's saying. He's all right, bro, I'll let you go. But you know what I'm saying? He was super cool about it. And I don't know, I think you got to be like Busta Rhymes. He went to his old school, hung out, bust freestyles, talked to everybody. I think that's how you really meet those people. You know what I'm saying? It's like anybody can. I think everybody can when it comes down to it, write a hit song. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as a certain genre, no, probably not. Like you can't sit and say, "Hey, I'm gonna write." I'm a blues guy. I'm a country guy, so therefore I'm gonna write a country hit. But I think if you sit down with the right know-how and the people around you and equipment, anybody could write a decent song. You know, it's like every band has that song that you're like, I fuck with that song. You may not fuck with like was it Young Blonde Cannibals? She drives me crazy. Ooh, ooh. And we looked up the rest of their catalog and it was complete garbage. It's like everybody has those songs. So with more, it's more of like who appreciates where they are. Who's gonna have $1 million and act like Gene Simmons or act like Henry Rollins? You know what I'm saying? That's really what it comes down to, is not letting anything change you. But like you were saying, yeah, I think you should. I think that's what it comes down to, not just to music, comedians, or anything like that. I think it comes down like if you're fortunate enough, give back to those who are not fortunate. That doesn't mean you become less fortunate because you helped the less fortunate. Don't by any means sacrifice yourself for the greater good, because nobody's going to do that for you. But give those people their shots. Help somebody up, because
it's out of love for the. I don't mean to say every person who's made it is responsible for putting people on. I'm saying it's a love.
A good example.
It's a love for the music. If you're a successful musician, your love for the music would want you to keep putting on. If you're a metal guy, I would personally want to put on more metal guys as much as possible.
Yeah, a good example of how it will want to be is Trent Reznor. Trent Reznor helped Marilyn Manson get where he is, helped him record his first album. He could have easily been like, from now on I get all your rights. 50% album, 25% album. Think how much money Trent Reznor would have made. I'm not saying he didn't get a little bit of his rights. He may have, but he could have got way more. 50% of everything you make from now on is mine.
Yeah, 100%. He could have got a lot more. Yeah.
Old Town Road. That 90% of that song is pretty much him. They just put a rap beat over it and rapped on it. Everything else is 9 Inch Nails music, which is Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. When that was becoming the number one song in the world, not the country, not hip hop, but in the whole fucking world, everybody was listening to Old Town Road. Think how much money. That's the Black Album. You know what I'm saying? He will live off that fucking song for the rest of his life. He could play that song. He doesn't ever have to record another song. He's going to be good. And they're like, oh, how do you want to do this? And Trent Reznor's like, don't get ahead of it. Don't be like, oh, hey, make this about us. Deal with it outside the public. I mean, in-house. Not that big of a thing. The manager ended up getting like 50% for him. So, all right, that works for me. And I was like, 50%? It's like, that's a fucking cut. And then I heard the original 9 Inch Nails song, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, that makes sense because it was his song. You know what I'm saying? So I get the whole 50%. Because if I could, because he was like, yo, do you want to be in the music video? I fucking shout you out constantly. He's like, dude, I don't want any of that. Like, you wrote the song. It's all about you. You made it a fucking, like the same way he did with Johnny Cash. He's like, dude, Hurt was a good song, but Johnny Cash made it a great song. I like how just humble he is about everything. Yeah, it's wild. But it's like the lead singer, guitar player of Black Keys. He's like, when they went on their little like break period, he produced like fucking 12, 13 people. He has his own record label. He's just helping people get on. You know what I'm saying? But he's not like, oh, hey, we'll use the Black Keys to get you on. He's like, yo, I can only give you so much. You know what I'm saying? And the rest of it's up to you. You know, you write the songs, you do whatever you need to do. I don't know the extent of what happens in their studio, but what it sounds like to me is just like, yo, I give you the tools. It's up to you to use them. I'm gonna obviously give you the know-how as far as what I know in recording.
Build a shed versus
producing,
build a
and all that
house.
shit.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think you definitely, everybody needs to do that, not just like I said in music or art, but like helping somebody if you just have $10 million. Instead of buying 2 Lamborghinis, buy 1 Lamborghini and build a spot where people could live. Not a mansion. Just, hey, it's better than living out there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one thing I never got. It's like, you know, a lot of the attitude is like, it's like old mental institutions. You know, you see like the ones, especially from the early 19th century or the 1900s, I guess you should say, is horrible. They would just lock them in dark rooms, shit covered walls,
Lock
that
them
type
away.
of shit.
Stop giving. Throw away the key.
But at the time, the argument was, well, it's better than them living out in the street. That's not a solid answer for me. You know what I'm saying? The alternative should never be because somebody's asking for more or asking for help that you're like, I'm doing this. This is enough. You know what I'm saying? Because you could be living out in the street. You could blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Because I always thought, what's your logic behind that? It's like, well, I could just fucking kill you and take what you have. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a bunch of like worst case scenario. You know, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, you can do that shit all night, bro.
Exactly. So I feel like that's the thing that gets me is we got in this real big political talk one time. And I was like, low key, if the world's as full as religious people as they say they are, Christian, Muslim, Jews, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself, there's no way all the world's social problems should be a thing. It's like, dude, I didn't tell you about this. I got in this huge debate with this. Somebody added me to Kentucky Supports Trump group on Facebook, and I was like, oh, why would anybody fucking invite me to this? I was like, I joined it. I was like, yeah, let's see what they got going on. Is it like a legit page where like people are having good conversations,
or is it bashing?
Fuck liberals.
Yeah.
So this dude posts up, you know what's wrong with this fucking country? It's Democrats. And I was like, that's not a fair thing to say though. Like that, obviously, Democrats are a problem, just like Republicans are. But is that the sole purpose? I feel like that's just ignorant. That's an ignorant thing to say. There's not one problem in America because how dumb does that make us look? It's like there's one issue that's fucking everything up, and we just can't figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bro, there's multiple issues on both sides. That's not debatable. Everybody's got that. You know what I'm saying? So fucking the whole argument was like, the youth drifts more to Democrats because we're stupid. I was like, no, I feel like the youth Democrats drifts more towards the left because liberals and Democrats are really good at convincing you that your opinion matters to them. Your voice is heard. I'll listen to what you say. I'll take it in. Where Republicans, it's like, nope, that's not how it was back in the day. You know, blah, blah, blah. You're just a stupid fucking kid. You know what I'm saying?
It's arguing an emotional reason versus a logical reason.
So
and emotional, I'll always
left.
crush that. Yeah.
And the huge points that sway us left with our peers is basic laws that we just feel like should just common sense. So if the right goes against these common sense things to us, they can't be right about everything or anything else. You know, abortion, legalizing weed, shit like that, right? So the fact that these people won't let women control what happens in their bodies or legalize this drug that literally has really no negative sound effects besides what drugs that we already have legal, caffeine, alcohol, cigarettes, tobacco and all that shit. Way better than those things that are legal. Why is this thing not being a legal thing? Why is something that could bring in a shit ton of income for us when we're facing a hard time financially not being used? Because back in the 30s you thought it was bad for you, et cetera, that type of shit. Well, because of those two type of subjects, you got these young kids who the Democrats are already trying to sway that way. They're trying to get you to think that Republicans are old-fashioned racists. And you're thinking, well, if these two people of this side doesn't agree with these two simple terms, these two simple subjects that I seem to don't understand why. Joe Rogan said it best. Any law that that keeps a adult human from doing something they don't want to just because some other people don't want them to do it is fucking a stupid law. Right? That's fair enough, right? If there's a law preventing me from doing something that in no way, shape, or form hurts you just because you don't like it, it's stupid. You know? So, because the right's so strict in those terms, the left automatically feels like they can't be right about anything. Free healthcare? Well, the left says this is doable. The right don't even want to legalize weed. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck do they know? They just want to keep the money for themselves type of the train. And the left is pushing that agenda even harder. You know what I'm saying? Because the left is real good at, like, making everybody think that they're geniuses when it comes to politics. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, think about this. Everybody has a car. There's like 1,800 millionaires. But they're charging you like, healthcare is not free though? Shit like that. So then the average person's like, you're right, there's a lot of money floating around. And it seems like the right are just stupid about everything. They want to keep us dumb so they can stay in control type shit. And that agenda is totally being pushed. So I was just having that discussion. Some dude out of nowhere, it's like, don't try to argue with this liberal fucktard. He's just a stoner. Because, on my page, there's like different marijuana things. I was just like, in point, right here, the example, shining example. This dude doesn't know me, thinks I'm left because I'm just having a debate. I'm not left or right. I don't think either sides. I don't sway either way. Because there's some shit the left does. It's like the weed thing and all that shit. It's ridiculous on the right, I feel. On the left, I feel like the whole... What's a good way to say this? I feel like the left has a lot of social issues that are just shooting ourselves in the foot. It doesn't make sense. It's not going to matter in 100 years. It's just like a trendy thing. On the left, it seems like we had a lot of civil rights issues that we addressed. The African American issue led to the gay issue. This led to this, but now we don't have any issues. We've handled everything. It took us way too long to do it. African American thing led to everybody getting rights. Still today, we kind of struggle a little bit in certain parts of the country where that's not
Democrats didn't do that.
What are you talking about?
Democrats, you talking about the slaves?
No, I'm talking about us as a country moving forward in certain situations.
I must have heard you differently.
No, that's what I was saying. Like this energy on the left, where we're like, yo, you gotta call people this, you gotta fucking do this. You can't say them that, that shit.
Focusing on character assassination versus actual politics. Yeah, I get you.
The left is focusing that energy that we have left over from those movements. All right, so we had the African American movement that got taken care of. Sure, we still fight shit today. We had the gay movement. That got taken care of. Gay marriage is now a thing. Sure, you still have parts of the country that are just like, no, keep them out of here, boy, and shit like that. But now we don't have a pressing issue like that. So where does it go now? Like 3 different ways in 3 different ways. You know what I'm saying? So it's like fucking, you got 3 subjects now. It's like transgender, this. And in between, and in those subcategories, we got even more. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, over time, it's just like we don't know where to put that energy.
Try to hear them out. I honestly do. I try to hear both sides, but you got it, man. The big rant was pretty much right so far as the character assassination winning over actual politics.
100%.
Because I was watching Bernie on Joe Rogan, and I was watching Andrew Yang on Breakfast Club, and I was watching...
Is Andrew Yang, or who's the dude that was like, yo, politicians should get paid more?
Andrew Yang.
All right, cool. Yeah, go ahead.
So, homeboy, his whole thing, like, you listen to him. Like, he even had me convinced. I looked up his actual policies until I thought about what he was saying. Because he's a Trump. He's an Asian Trump. He came over here. He for 100% was a foreigner. He came over here, became an American.
Well, he can't be president anyway. Is that what he's running for?
Yeah, he can't be president because he was born in the United States, but his family is completely foreign.
All right.
I'm pretty sure his business extends across the sea, but irrelevant. The whole thing is he came over here, trumped it out, started a business, got big, puts people on, and his whole argument was He's for the people, by the people, because he was one of you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, well, I've heard this one before. Keep going. And his whole thing was completely aimed at millennials, where he wants to increase job. He says trucking is going out of the. He's essentially telling us about the what Stephen Hawking tried to, which is AI. AI has taken over your Walmart jobs, your factory jobs, your basic, almost what 80% of the population is doing. When you have no trade, you're just kind of showing up, doing some hard work. It's all being manufactured out, and it's already happening. It's been happening.
All right.
And he was like, you see stories about, like in Walmart, there's machines that just stroll down the aisle. They take inventory, they take count to know what needs to be stocked. And he said, trucking, within the next 10, 15 years, there will be no truckers. Probably realistically within 30 to 50 years, it's just going to be completely irrelevant because they're trying to switch to automatic. But obviously the big thing is truckers don't want that. They're like, bro, that's not right. And he said the shitty thing when you move forward.
That's fucked up.
Hey, fuck you. Because 50 years ago, truckers laughed at it. They're like, bro, that's never going to happen. And now they're on strike. You can look it up. They're completely on strike about it. And they said, well, here's the thing, though. Why would we stop progress? Be the only country that stopped progress? Because of a job. Now, then the other argument is, well, you're just going to put all these guys out of work, like coal miners. You're just going to put them all out of work. The deal is, his thing is he wants like coal miners and truckers. This is part of his appeal. He's like, I want to send them back to college. I want to send them back to school. And I want to get them a different trade. Like he wants to help, which I get, you know what I'm saying? He wants to put them back through some kind of trade school, learn welding, learn roofing, construction, do something. And then their argument was, well, what if it's because a lot of those, like the main demographic is like men from 53 and up. How are you going to get a 60-year-old to get up on a roof?
100%.
It's like, that's not how to do it. Like, for a while, did you ever hear about the hashtag learn to program?
Not really. I heard that it was like a huge surge, but I never heard that hashtag.
It was making fun of truckers. Yeah. It was 100% making fun of everybody in that position that was like, bro, it's not right to just shove AI in our face and us lose our jobs. And they're like, bro, learn to program.
See, so how do you feel like, say in 30 years, 90% of the jobs that are available right now are AI? How do you think we adapt to as a country to that? Because the way I always pictured it is be like you wake up, you're like, I gotta put in 8 hours. You strap in a headset and like a fucking like VR headset type thing and fucking control this little robot that can pick up fucking 20 times as much as a human can and move this cargo. You know what I'm saying?
Or how do we adjust to when we went from horses to carriages and carriages to cars? Jobs will naturally change as they have.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But like with a horse and buggy versus car,
so I don't understand what you're asking. Are you saying life? Or are you just talking about work?
I was just seeing how that was parallel to the jobs because nobody's going out of a job from not riding horses. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It's like so if all these jobs go out of order, truckers, whatever. There can only be so many programmers. You know what I'm saying? And that fucking jobs.
That's the other argument.
So how do you feel us adapting past that?
I still don't understand. So are you asking?
90% of the jobs that we know now are taken over by AI. Mm-hmm. What are we going to do with all these people that are just chilling, not doing anything?
That's the big debate. That's what I'm saying. Because I'm 100%.
So what's your input on it? Like, what do you think?
What do I think?
Obviously, neither one of us knows shit. But what would you suggest if you ran the country?
Well, there's only one thing you can do, and that's learn another trade. How do you learn another trade? You go to trade school, or you go back to college. Not everybody can just do that, though. You got kids, you got people who just don't have money. So you would almost have to have a government intervention. But then again, you go to these corporations where the main guy's making $4 million a year, $100 million a year.
At that point, it'd be all profit because you got your programmers, you got the people that build these AIs. And shit like that. So obviously they would branch off and more jobs, but not enough for everybody to be covered by the jobs the AIs recover or the take over. But it's like, so what do you do there? And you're just like, are all these business owners going to be like, I have so much more money now because of lack of right wages that I don't have to pay anymore.
Overhead.
We're gonna fucking do shit like that.
Overhead.
Are we gonna ship it back to people? Like how does that work? That's a whole nother.
The same way it worked when we switched to cars. there's going to be a whole slew of jobs we can't even imagine right now.
Yeah.
It's not just going to be programmers. You're still going to need maintenance guys. We know those off the top of our heads, but we don't know what the next jobs might be. That same technology that puts the trucker out of work might create a whole different job in some other mode of transportation. It might create a whole nother job that we can't even foresee right now because it's a business that has yet to be created. So it's the same way when we switched from horses to cars. Because if you were back in the Wild West days, if you owned a stable attached to an inn, you can make a business. Switch to cars, you get a gas station attached to an inn. Switch to flying cars, you get a fucking, you know what I'm saying? You just constantly evolve, and there's gonna be jobs. Because then when you switch from the horses to that, you go, oh well, I gotta feed the horses. Oh fuck, bro, I gotta make a deal with a farmer, try to get a deal on some food. Switches to cars. Oh, bro, I need to get a deal on a mechanic, but the mechanic needs this. You know, there's more people added to the process that you need to. But there's more friction between what supplies you need to make a business run, and there's always going to be something that you cannot foresee in 30 years that it's going to be a major job.
I guess it goes back into like people. Certain people can't turn on a computer. I'm pushing the A button. Those people. What do? Because obviously they're not going to be able to code. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that just don't get it. There's some people that just don't get it. Like, if I could explain some shit to them, and they're just like, it's like explaining the internet to somebody who doesn't grasp the concept of the internet. It's like, it's like the people are like, oh, hey, you can go on Google, and they're like, well, I want people to know where I'm at, and looking at me, and you're like, what are you talking about right now?
In my head, if I was going to go off the top of my head, what I would ideally want, I would want to, obviously you're going to have your programmers, your maintenance guys, your IT people, to your technicians, mechanics, electrical engineers, all that shit. I would like to see a bigger push, because the one thing he was talking about that I was like, all right, that makes sense, is he wants to do the universal income, 1,000 people, regardless if you're Donald Trump or if you're John Todd. Then he wants to give you $1,000. Everyone's included. $1,000 a month. Right. His whole argument is it's because it'll push culture and artistic. It'll push people to either continue to make the same mistakes, but it'll also give them a chance to, if they want to, either obviously to help pay rent and all that, but if it gives like,
how well do you know there's a law that's wanting to pass?
It's universal. Are you talking about universal income?
Well, like, what age do you come in effect to get the $1,000?
I think it's 8. I think you have to still be a legal adult, so 18. 21. So his whole thing is he wants to do $1,000. That's the thing that blew people's mind. Like, oh, you want to give all the poor people $1,000? He's like, no, everybody. I don't give a fuck if you're rich or not. You get $1,000. And they said, and because it was artistic, because I would want, ideally, imagine if we cultivated artists of all different kinds versus belittle them and tell them that that's, oh, Little John wrote a song. What if you actually cultivated a country of artists back like you did in the Renaissance period and sold that to the world? There's always a need for art. There's always a need for entertainment, and art covers everything from TV shows, music, sculptures, everything. Everything. There's going to be new types of art cultivating within the next 100 years because it's technology we can't even fathom yet. And so you're always going to need that. And so in my head, I would want to cultivate more on the culture side, like the Romans did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And push that outside of that. But I don't know how you would want to capitalize on that. That's something I don't know.
I just don't know if giving $1,000 to everybody would be the smartest thing per month. Because you got some people like the opiate crisis that's just going to be like a fast death, which I guess in hindsight works out. But
So the counter argument was, what happens if you give $1 million to a crackhead? He's still going to be a crackhead. He's going to be a rich crackhead, and you're probably going to kill him.
Yeah.
And so his response was, 100%, that's going to happen. I don't doubt it. But here's the other issue: is I've met a lot of kids, because he goes to like millennials are obviously his target demographic. But he goes, I meet a lot of people. I purposely try to hire younger.
He's charismatic. He's pretty cool talker.
He's a really good talker. He's Obama level talking, where he doesn't. You can tell on certain ideas, he has his idea, but he doesn't know. He hasn't thought all the way through on something. And a perfect example is what I'm about to get to, because he's talking about this, and he's like, also, like, there's just all this extra money floating around, and this guy doesn't need to be making $1 million a year. I mean, these big corporate fat cats are taking up all the money. And then 2 minutes later, he's talking about how he wants to raise the president's salary from $400,000 a year to $2 million a year.
Yeah.
His argument, because it derailed the whole conversation. They completely started joking on him after that. Like they kind of got serious again, but you could tell they were like, "Yo, he's not real." Yeah, on Breakfast Club. Andrew Yang, Breakfast Club. Check it out. It's like 46 minutes, and he says he wants to increase the salary to $2 million a year, and they're like, "Why?" And for what I remember, he's like, "Oh, it's just lobbyists. I don't feel like the president should be bought out." And they're like, "Well, you're going to be the president. You're saying if we don't give you $2 million a year, you're just going to go completely against everything."
Yeah.
Like, what sense does that make?
Yeah.
And he's like, and he slithers around that and goes to the next thing. Yeah. But when he said that, I was like, "Fuck, bro."
Kicked himself in his head right there. It's like, yo, if you don't pay me $2 million, I'm gonna be corrupt as fuck.
You'll see when you list it, it's super fucking. But everything up to that, you're like, okay, this dude makes sense. He wants to create jobs because he's like, yo, instead of fearing the future, let's embrace it. Let's figure out what we're gonna do with all these truckers when their jobs are gone. Factory workers, you're included in that. Walmart employees, you're included in that.
It's pretty much anybody who deals with the public. You know what I'm saying? Restaurant people, factory, which they don't deal with the public, but they deal with the public in sense of orders and stuff like that. Production, truckers that deliver the goods. I'm sure the barge people that fucking drive goods across the ocean, they'll be hit by it. Because what I would imagine is it won't be like as much as like AI trucks, as much as like flying fucking machines that could just fucking shoot over from fucking China in a matter of like 2 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they've got. Well, my argument back to that was first you have to have technology reliable enough because it's a big expense at first, but the idea is over the lifetime it's going to save you a lot of money versus hiring
it's how much
30 different people. How many people
cost, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, upfront costs. So because how many people go through a factory job, work 2 weeks and quit?
Oh, 100%.
And they waste all the PPE, all the shit. Like I remember talking to Toyota, and he was talking about going through like $10,000 a week and just in new people quitting. Yeah. $40,000 a month in that one plant, or within like a couple plants. I don't know. I just remember he said it was like $10,000 a week he was wasting on PPE on that.
See, that's
but if technology's not ahead enough, and you buy that, and it crashes,
then you're fucked again.
Then you're in the hole.
Like, I want twice as much. You know
then you're deep in the fucking hole. No one wants to work for you. Now you have to offer a sign-on bonus. Now you've got to do this. Now you got to give great benefits. So what do you do? Saying. So I think we're still a minute off, and now it's happening quick. Technology is improving rapidly.
Well, the world we live in today is like overnight something could happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like iTunes. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoa, Napster. You know what I'm saying? Just like 1 minute you had a boss you and like literally a week later you're like, I can just steal this shit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. It's a wild subject for sure. Because like it revolves a lot. One thing I never got with factories is like recently I had a buddy who worked at Columbia. And he was a temp. Same shit they did to me. They're like, yo, if you bust your ass, come in early, stay late, that type of shit, we'll hire you on full time. Like a month before Christmas, they let him go for absolutely no reason. Was it late? I mean, he was late once, but it was like fucking a week into him starting type shit. You know what I'm saying? Here it is, months later. It's like, no, we just feel like we can hire a better worker. And dude was hurt about it because he's like, bro, I fucking put in work because this was life-changing money for me. Like, this was going to take care of my family. I wasn't there just, like, dicking off. This was going to change my life. But they got some, they got another temp that fucking, they can feed that bullshit to.
Numbers.
Your ass, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking is, like, if this factory, like Toyota, was going through that much money per week, as a business owner in Toyota, I'd be like, let's see what we could do to get these people to stay. It might cost us more. But at least we're dealing with that debt. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to talk too bad about it because
you don't talk about it at all. I'm just saying that's what.
Well, what I'm saying is they're notorious for doing that. There's a reason they have a sign-on bonus. There's a reason they're always hiring. Yeah. Because if you stay there long enough, they fired all of the people who
just get off
this happened.
This is gonna fuck you up. I feel like, but it's just any factory, in particular Columbia, where it's like fucking. I don't understand the whole demeanor because at Columbia, it's just Christmas. It's online shopping, hats, sweaters, coats, boots, whatever. Yeah. So, but we would be like, yo, I never understood factory schedule. Never. It's like our schedule would be like 14-hour days off for a week. I was like, why can't we just work 8 hours a day, 3 shifts? You know? Why do we gotta come in and put like fucking, like a week of our time all at once versus, and then have a week off? Because no, that's never worked for me. If I don't do something for a week, like work, I'm like, so then I come back on that Monday where I got to work for fucking 120 hours, that next following fucking 4 or 5 days. It's like, bro, fuck jobs. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm more consistent. You're off 2 days, and you work 8 hours, 9 hours a day. That's always worked the best for me.
That's why my plan was always within 10 years to set yourself up, because it's easily, people make less than I do now, which I don't make that much. But I remember there's still people who work like minimum wage, and they're doing okay. You know what I'm saying? There's people, because they get with somebody, they will share a similar goal. That's why in 10 years my whole goal is to get built up to the point where we can get around that shit. Mm-hmm. Last thing I want to do is try to be like, oh, bro, I got to learn how to weld.
But it's like, all right, so what if in like 10 years the band takes off, the universe takes off, and we got a warehouse for our merchandise and our DVDs and our CDs and all that shit? How would you want the work schedule to be? How would you run that warehouse?
How would I run the warehouse?
Yeah.
If it's just or are we making the product here?
Let's say we're making, yeah.
So we're making it and storing it there?
In-house.
Right, so we're making it and storing it in the same facility. So let's say if we're doing $1 million a year, decent. Sounds like a lot, but when you factor in all the costs and the rent and all that shit. But let's say we're doing $1 million a year, the hours, because low key, obviously, everyone wants to be that guy where I feel like Chick-fil-A had it right. Good pay, good benefits, Sunday off. They're a Christian company. That's why they take Sunday off, because it's the Lord's Day technically. But in my head, I want to run it like that. But it's hard to say that. Everyone wants to be that good guy until you see how it actually works. Yeah. So in my mind, I'm not gonna overwork them. I'm not gonna because that's something. It's all planning. Your management is in charge of avoiding that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, bro, man, I fucked up. We're so behind on orders. I need you guys to work like mandatory overtime, 50 hours a week. You know what I mean? Like, no, bro. It's like, oh, bro, John, you should be thankful. I'm giving you money. Yeah, exactly. It's like, no, dude, fuck that, bro. Time is always way more important. It could be
worse. You could be living on a fucking street.
You know what I'm saying, though? So in my mind, I just know factual. It's just bad planning will create a bad environment. A bad environment, nobody wants to be around you.
See, I would just, on everything that we would try to do, I would try to pass that thing. It's like White Stripes, Jack White. When you ordered a shirt, he'd hit you with, everything's in-house. If you don't get your shirt for a week or two extra than we originally estimated, something happened. We're human. I was like, that's a good approach. Because you're already saying, like, hey, we're going to try to get it to you in 2 weeks. But if it happens to be 4, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And fucking, so I was like, yeah, that's the approach to take. I always thought it would be cool if I could be that boss. It's like, 8 hours, 9 hours a day, 2 shifts, 3 possibly if we're hitting like Metallica numbers. Post up, have the Christmas parties, Thanksgiving parties, pay equal.
It's like the bonuses. I've never understood being a corporate guy and giving yourself a $5 million bonus.
It's a tax break.
And giving your
look up the Clinton. Just go to YouTube, look up Clinton bonus Lupo.
And then
look into it.
All right, and then Google it.
You just haven't looked at it like I've looked into it.
It's just one of those things where
So basically,
I'm going to give all my employees a $50 bonus. I'm going to get $5 million.
So basically, to sum it up, it's like I could pay taxes for my business doing this well, or I can give everybody bonuses, including myself one, and write that off as a tax deduction and not pay taxes on that.
Well, yeah, that's what I explained to you earlier. If you make a certain amount of money,
it's just like the CEO and like 3 other people that get all that money.
Well, that's what I was telling you earlier. If you remember, where I was like, if you make too much money, you have to spend on something, or the government just takes it.
100%.
Which is why people start buying 10 different cars. Yeah. My issue with that is I would just write it as a bonus.
I just buy fucking land.
But 100%. I don't want to overwork people because I feel like this is mismanagement. because I've ran roofing crews before, and the only way that you would fuck them over and not give them that Sunday off, or not give them if they need a certain day off, is by your poor management or your unwillingness to get hands on with it.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I picture an environment where not everybody's fast paced. Like Columbia, you had to be sprinting all the time. I was like, this is fucking ridiculous, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I can understand if we were doctors or something, like where every second mattered with somebody's life. But we're low key delivering fucking hats and sweaters, you know? So it goes down to like Columbia, you'd have to like speed around. Wasn't allowed to like sit and talk. The first thing I was like, yo, fuck this job. I didn't quit it because, I got fired. But I didn't quit because I was like, yo, people are dependent on me. The kids and shit, so I gotta fucking do it. And I was just helping people out that I was living with. I was like, yo, this is something that needs to be done. And they fucking end up letting me go over that same bullshit, you know what I'm saying? So, like, lame. But I remember the first time I was like, this is ridiculous. This is like a fucking, you're not treating me like a person, you treat me like a number. We're all sitting there and you had to make your own boxes for the orders you're about to ship out.
All right.
So, like, they would give you, like, this, like, Pep Boy type thing. You would look at it and it would tell you, like, the size, how many boxes you needed, what size you needed. It'd be like X3, X2, Over time, you would know X1's like a giant box, X2 is like a normal box, X1's like a hat, sweater, one sweater thing box, right? So we were just all sitting there, dude, not just bullshitting like we were talking, but we were low-key just making these fucking boxes like crazy. And they separated all of us. There's like 10 of us. And you're in this giant warehouse, and there's like 3 tables. It was like me, and none of us was in the same age range. So it wasn't like we were goofing off. It was like me,
How bad?
a 90-year-old dude, a fucking 40-year-old dude. I was like 24 at the time, like a 19-year-old chick. Like, it was like sporadic like that. I remember the first day I went, bro. I was like, I'm putting in work because I'm trying to like just because that's what they told me. You bust your ass, we're gonna give you a full time, and that's like benefits and fucking. It's such a hookup, right? But no temps make it ever. Doesn't matter how good of a worker you are. Those spots are taken by so and so and their kids and blah blah. So I was chilling, just talking, having conversation. Wasn't like not doing anything talking. It was literally we were in the process of working. And they separated all of us. And like some of us had to just go where there wasn't no tables at all. So it made our jobs harder. And I'm like, why? And they're like, see those cameras up there? That's from corporate in like New York. I don't know for sure, but it wasn't around here. They're watching us, making sure that we use our time wisely. And I was like, I don't get this. And they're like, you're not supposed to get it. You're supposed to do what you're told. I was like, dude, I don't like that whole like.
That sounds like a
follow the
fucking
blind
nightmare, bro.
Yeah, dude. It was like Amazon, South Park on Amazon.
Yeah.
So fucking similar to that, bro. And I remember the first night I worked, there's this old black dude. He was like, probably like 70s, mid 70s. And fucking dude, he just couldn't do it because they told him like it's pretty much a little do it at your own pace job. Like the way they explained it to us is like, your order would be 300 orders. You have 16 hours to do that because there's so many people here. Everybody could do 300 orders and we meet quota. So as long as you get your 300 orders done, we got a gym here. We have a lunchroom here. So it was get in and knock it all out, go work out, chill for the fucking next 6 hours. Because we make so much money on our products that we could take care, like Google type shit. So we're like, dude, this is the dream job. Why does nobody do this? Go in there, they're like, yo, bro, you've only packaged like 700 things tonight. We need that doubled. Bro, what are you talking about? And everything just didn't make sense. Like, you're supposed to be super delicate with how you pack shit, but you look over to shipping, and people would literally just scan it because you got to scan it saying it's packed, it was checked, what it's supposed to be in, it's in it, and it's sealed up. Somebody's personal job was that. They would literally take the box, chuck it in the back of a truck. Boom, you could hear it.
Just full on, just throw it.
I was like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? And there was this job called the sorter. Everybody hated. It was like the job there. I loved it. I don't care. There was no clocks around. And there was no nothing. It's very demeaning when you work there. Everything's just, it's almost like you work in like a fucking sweatshop type shit. Like there's no windows, there's no blah, 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 there's no clocks. People treat you like they're ordering you. It's more like a communist type thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's fucking scary, bro.
And Dude, it was just depressing. I remember it wasn't even depressing in the sense like, oh, I got to work. It was just like, I'm going to chill for like 14 hours with no sunlight, you know? And the way they explained it to us was like the lunchroom. You just go in there and grab lunch. Which is, oh yeah, you could totally go in there and grab lunch. We just go take it out of your paycheck. And it's like $4 for a banana type shit. Which then again, I don't know, it could be totally different now. But it was just shit like that, or like wild ass shit. And I decided right there, like if I ever ran a factory, because ICP did, they had the psychopathic warehouse and all that shit where they shipped everything out. And so I want a more of a laid back environment. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, hey, dude, you got to do your job 100%, but you don't got to rush. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that big of a deal. You ain't got to fucking... Well, I don't want to treat people like that. Obviously, if you're just dicking around, not doing your job, you're going to get fired. But if you come in, you bust your ass, you do your best, cool. That doesn't mean like, oh, hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom and chill for an hour. You know what I'm saying? I remember, dude, the most depressing thing about that job is I remember going to the bathroom because I'm going to fucking fake as shit for like 30. Fuck this job. Because you just lose respect for it. I don't matter. I'm a number. The two things that Nick, that's all I'm going to say. I won't say his last name. The supervisor was real cool. He liked me for some reason. I think it's because I was just I'm brutal. I'm honest. And I was like, dude, I can't say his last name because it's going to give it away. His cousin I went to school with, her name was Stacy. Not really, but we're going to say it's that. And because of his last name, I was like, yo, you kin of Stacy such and such? And he's like, and before he even answered, me being me, I was like, dude, I'd fuck the shit out of her, bro. Raw dog it. And he's like, dude, that's my cousin. I was like, oh, well, facts. Still doing it. I'm gonna pretend like I didn't just say that. I guess he just respected it. He was like, at least you're honest. Super cool dude. He was the one that hit me with it. He was like, bro, they're not gonna hire you. Because I was like, bro, how long have you been working? He's like, years, since high school. He was a kick ass. He was the night supervisor. I was like, bro, you're a fucking beast, bro. Love the dude. Honest. He's like, they're not gonna hire you, bro. They're not gonna hire any of these people. There were some people there that outworked me. I was like, not even so and so. No.
I wonder why, though. I guess it's just cheaper? What?
So the way it was explained to me was their workers that work there have benefits and a pay that we don't. These motherfuckers are like making 25 hours, or $20 to $25 an hour. That's what I'm guessing. I don't even know if they make that much. I'm assuming they make a lot more. So, because that's what I'm telling you, dude. Like, they're like, yo, when you get full benefits, that's what Nick, or this guy said. That's what he's like, yo, bro, it's going to change your life. Like, it's dope. He's like, but getting it to the next thing. So he's like, so what happens is they could pay us X amount of dollars that they have to by their own rules with the company, blah, blah, blah. Or they can work us for X amount of hours, which is great for us. We don't have to work that much. We don't work that hard. They hired temps for $9 an hour and tell y'all, hey, if you bust your ass, you could be one of these people. We go beyond and fucking above and beyond, bust out everything they need, plus more. Go fuck yourself. Next week, next time they need us, it's around holidays is the most. Like the high year around like October, let you go like a week before Christmas. Next time they need people, hey, come here, check this out.
So I'm still a little confused on that. So essentially, just to clarify that, so it's just the management like
all right,
baiting you in, not wanting to really do the work, but having
think
people
like
come
this.
in and do it.
I own a company. I pay you $40 an hour, $25 an hour, 25. That's realistic. You're my packer. You do these orders, right? I'll pay you $25 an hour. What is that overtime? Time and a half, right? I know the season's coming up. There's a lot of orders I'm going to have to do. A lot more work for us. A lot more hours I'm going to have to cover. Do I pay you time and a half to do all this?
So what I first said, it's just cheaper.
Or do I pay
I got it then, yeah.
$9
the way
an hour?
The way you presented it was a bit confusing to me at first.
Yeah.
But I got it. Now, that was the first thing I said. It has to be just either cheaper or based on someone's bonus or on a work quota or something.
So I could pay you $25 an hour for your 40 hours a week.
Yeah, no, I get you, bro. I 100%
And
get
then,
you.
Yeah, there's some days, dude, that's what would piss you off because you'd be like, oh, dude, what did the first shift do? Like, oh, dude, they sent them home at like, dude, you get there at like 5. You're like, yo, they sent him home at 8, gave them a bonus. Happy holidays. She's thinking, this company's going to be dope to work for. We must not have shit to do. What are we going to do? They're like, oh, we got like 7,000 boxes to do. So we're doing what they were supposed to do plus our shit. Yeah. You trying to earn that $10 or not? You know what I'm saying?
No, I get that because that's popular amongst a lot of different brands. I've noticed that with the job that I have. So, because I always ask myself, I was like, bro, why is it ever? Because there's certain places that are just always hiring. They're always hiring, and I look at them just because I'll go there, talk to people, and then I'm just like, I don't understand like why there's always new people here. It's like it pays like 17 starting. This one over here pays fucking 22 starting. Fucking full benefits after like a year, like 9 months, something like that, 6 months. I was like, bro, I don't get it. And then I started talking a little bit more to some of the other people, and they were breaking it down like what you just did, and I'm like, bro, wow, like it like on a number thing, it makes sense. I get that. But then on this at that same thing, that's why I respect. I can't even think of their name, but it's a Catholic company. It's kind of like a Chick-fil-A, but it's like a big art store. Everyone goes there. It's in Evansville. Mm-hmm. I was trying to, because I remember I applied there a long time ago.
Well, I think that's where the misconception gets with the rich. You know, like the poor is like, fuck the rich. Yeah. Some of the rich are cool people. Some of the rich are your lords and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I think working in that mentality, I think that's what threw me into that. Like, fuck rich people. Because I worked at Columbia and I was just like, this is shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this happens in America. Like, dude, the weirdest thing about Columbia, though. So, like, say you were going to pick me up for work. They had to, like, fucking get your name, what you're about, where you worked. Because when you're on Columbia property, you're not on American property. There's some international bullshit law. So I was like, bro, I wonder if, like, low-key they're breaking a shit ton of fucking work regulations, but they're not on American soil, per se.
Did you ever see that leaked video of, like, Amazon?
Yeah, 100%.
Where they do was, like, where it was, like, a training video. And the training video was, like unions. You know,
yeah, I know what
a union is. All right, so the whole thing was, like, it was super shady, but it was, like... It was one of those moments where it's like, that just sounds like slavery with extra steps. Like, they're trying to word it differently, but at the end of the day, it's super evil. Yeah. And one of the things that it said was, if you identify, like, these are ways to identify people who are trying to form a union type behavior. Number one, they talk about wanting a union.
Bro, I remember.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
It's fucking super.
I remember.
Was that not shady?
Me and Cody Johnson that used to work with at Walmart, we got pissed off one night because somebody just fucking did some shit that fucking got us, bro. I don't remember what it was. We need to get him on the podcast so he could tell you about this. Walmart's big rule: don't speak a union. If I'm talking to Cody and union comes out of my mouth, they got to call somebody in from corporate that specializes, and then lawyers got to come in.
Yeah.
And they got to talk to us about it. We could be fired on the spot. Dude, me and Cody don't give a fuck, bro. We smoke blunts on fucking breaks. So we're like, we're going to fucking start a goddamn union in this bitch, boy. And she's like, don't say that. And I was just like, Union City, bitch. Fucking starting one. And so the dude, one of the other managers like, dude, do you know what a union is? And it's one of those times where you explain something to me. I was like, you don't know what the fuck you're explaining right now. She's like, unions are evil. So, all right, explain it. I know what a union is. Do I know everything about it? Absolutely not. But I was like, hit me with it. So, all right, say Stacy, we'll call her, starts working at Walmart for 2 weeks. She's pregnant. So she goes into labor, can't work anymore. A union won't pay her to get off. And me and Cody are like, yeah, no, that seems about right. Like, if you don't put in the time, watch you get the benefits of working here. He's just like, wait a minute. No, that's not what I mean. I was like, dude, you're shitty at this. He's like, Walmart's not a union. So therefore, if you're pregnant and you ask for time off, we will give it to you. And we're like, what the fuck are you trying to explain to me right now? Because it seems like you're just trying to just fucking deter us from fucking wanting union. So like, dude, it was a whole ordeal. And they didn't even, so they never fucking made an actual complaint that we were talking about unions, because they're like, bro, you don't know the shit storm that you're about to bring down on everybody here. And we're like, we're gonna union up, dude.
Mac and Charlie, like
100%, dude. I don't remember what it was about, dude, but we were fucking pissed, bro. They fucked us over somehow, and bro, dude, it was so fucking funny, bro. It's like we got fucking yelled at one time because they're like, I never understood the whole, you can't tell somebody else what you make. Fuck you. So me and Cody got promoted because we wanted to work frozen and only frozen. The contract we signed was we can't go any other departments, which we used heavily because we'd get done and they'd be like, we need you over here. They'd be like, go fuck yourself. I'm frozen. So they're like, all right, we're going to give you a raise. So we went in there to sign the contract. And we're like, how much is this raise? They're like, a title. What do you mean a title? Is that like a fancy word for like $1? They're like, no. Like you become leads of frozen. All right, so what's the raise? She's like, there is no raise. I was like, oh, no shit. And then like she's like, I'm gonna fight for you to raise though. I'm gonna fight for you one. Came in like a week later. She's like, don't sign these papers. I'm gonna fight for your raise because you guys put in work. We would knock out like 24 hours worth of work overnight. Getting stoned and fucking putting up pizzas is what we were good at, man. Come in a week later, she's like, you guys are getting a 25% raise. Bet. Cool, whatever. At this point, we're just happy we got anything. Sounds good to me. And she made us sign this agreement. She's like, you can't tell nobody about your 25% raise. Or 25% raise. I was like, Scout's honor. As soon as we left, me and Cody are like, fuck you poor bitches, we just got 25 cents more. Dude, she got so mad at us, bro. Yeah.
Get away, peasants.
Yeah.
Come in like a fucking king.
100%. As soon as we shut the door, we did it because we just push your buttons. Like there was this time when corporate came in because we were like they were doing like inventory, and they were like, don't embarrass us at all. And me and Cody would fuck shit up, bro. I'm not gonna say everything we did because we can go to jail, 100%. But we just did a lot of shady shit. Let's just say that. If you fucking ate frozen food from fucking X amount of years when we were working there, some shady shit went down. No, we never fucked with the food or anything like that. It was just like if something went missing, like if you opened a box of ice creams and there was one bar missing, that type of shit. You're like, oh, I guess the factory fucked it up. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. The factory fucked it up. So, I mean, I'm not.
That factory was crazy.
So, corporate comes in, and we all got to get in the back of Walmart and do like this wiggle dance. Give me a W. Everybody makes a W. Give me an A. And you spell out it. Give me a wiggle for the little dash. And like, yo, so all the managers, every manager we had at Walmart came and just stood beside me and Cody and behind us because they were like, and they just stared at us the whole time. Like, y'all better not fuck us up, bro. Because we're like, yo, these people are the people that could fire the whole store. And we're like, really?
Do say more.
We're just stalkers, bro. So we could fuck everybody else up that's been there. Boom, boom, boom. Fuck you. They had every fucking person that worked at Walmart there. All the managers gathered around us. I was like, yeah, bro. Rage Against the Machine, you know? But yeah. 100%. Good times, good times. But yeah, dude, that's all I got for the night.
All right, bro.
Fuck Walmart. Fuck Columbia. Stick it to the man.